Hey everyone. So I'm going to talk about my final project here today for environmental science. What I did was I wrote about climate change and how it may affect severe weather overall, but mostly in western Massachusetts. I'm big into meteorology. I always have been since I was about 7 years old. Is when I really got interested into weather and all that. So I'm using a different type of presentation. It's called ArcGIS. It's with the GIS software, but it's a subversion of it called Story Maps. So Story Map is basically like a PowerPoint, but it's a little different where it's more interactive. So on some pages you can have a map, and then some pages you can play videos. So when you're going through my story map, you're going to see a bunch of different things: pictures, videos, interactive maps about different severe weather events, plus some pictures about droughts, some climate change models that I've looked into in the past, a bunch of different things overall. So let me give you a quick rundown about how you can actually use the story map feature. So when you arrive to my story map, you're going to see the main page. It has a little home button on the left hand side. You'll see a bunch of red dots on the map. You can interact with those red dots and you'll see a bunch of different things about different areas in western Massachusetts that had severe weather in them. And if you zoom out a little bit on the map, you can see one in the Berkshire County as well. So really awesome stuff there. So what you're going to do is you're just going to scroll through the left hand side. You'll see little sub buttons under the home button, and you can scroll through this and see the different maps that are displayed and some different data and all that. So keep scrolling through that, and when you arrive on the second overall page that has data in it other than the home page, you'll see like an interactive map again, plus some more cool, interesting stuff. All different case studies of severe weather events that took place in western Massachusetts, and some info on those. And then I get into droughts and talk about how some people don't consider droughts a form of severe weather, but they're actually one of the most important ones. So I have a cool animated image of last year's drought, plus some updated information about how Massachusetts is no longer in a drought, plus some maps of what it was like in this past December. And then I talk about climate change and its effect on Western Mass weather with some cool climate change models specific right to Western Mass, and talking about how those climate change models work. And then I talk about how our place is affected, and I make my own predictions of the future of severe weather events in Massachusetts and all that. So you're going to scroll through there, you can see some more climate change models, and then talking about some of my predictions. My first prediction is that Western Mass is going to see more flooding events in springtime due to snow melt and heavy rainfall events early in the year. Some of the climate models predict a shorter winter and an earlier spring. So, of course, when you have all that snow melt and then mix it with a lot of rainfall in the spring, it just causes high rivers and localized flooding. And then I talk about thunderstorms and heat waves and what can happen with those. And then on the second to last screen, right before my sources, is another interactive map, but this interactive map is actually all throughout Massachusetts, and it's actually a population map, plus it's a poverty map as well for so it's very interesting to look at that, where you can actually see, income disparities within Western Mass and how that can relate back to dealing with potential disasters in the future. And then I list all of my sources on the last page, of course, and then I will send those over as well. But if you have, using a story map, it's a pretty interesting feature because you could add a lot more than you could with, say, a PowerPoint. you know, it's just cool being able to mix maps, videos, pictures, and then just, you know, data as well. So overall, I hope you enjoy this story map, and I hope it displays all the information overall. Thank you.